Hello and welcome to another episode of Technically Analytics. Today we're going to be talking about the Houston Astros and what the hell is wrong with them. They are 35-40 currently as it stands, 8 games behind the Seattle Mariners. And as you can see, and as you'll see in a second, they're struggling. They've been struggling this whole season. They've been dominant for the past 7 years, been to the ALCS, won a World Series, won a couple World Series even. So yeah, they've been struggling pretty badly, and I'm here to figure out why. And I got this video idea initially from Twitter. I thought it was the manager, but I've changed my mind about that. I think I figured out what the problem is actually. So yeah, stay tuned for what's to come. It's going to be good, I think. So here we go.
Ramos is the park and hold it. Ramos gone. That's how strong he is, folks. And it's 5-3.
Well, that got the attention of Logan Webb, simply because the pitch that he threw, the big fella went down.
So this is the Astros Fangraphs page, and you can see their rankings for the season. Their offense is pretty decent this year. Like, they haven't had a bad offensive year yet, at least. Like, runs is a little down, stolen base is not so good, but everything else is in the top 10. And that's what you like to see. And then starting pitching, that is where you can see a trouble area is they're not very good at starting pitching. And it's mostly due to the injuries, I think. And you'll see that in a second. And then we have relief pitching or bullpen, and it's pretty mid. That's what I would describe it as, just mid. Like, and that's surprising because they added some guys in the offseason that I thought would make their bullpen just out of this world. So, yeah, pretty mid. But anyway, if we scroll down here to the lineup, you can see that their lineup consists of the guys that do. The top few are mainstays: Alvarez, Bregman, Altuve. Like, these guys, they're doing pretty decently. You can see from these just basic stats. You have Diaz, Singleton, Myers, Pena, Dubion, and Chas McCormick, and they're doing a variation of bad and good, some better than others. And then, so yeah, you have these guys, and I mean, surprisingly, Pena's been struggling. Singleton hasn't been as good, but he's a replacement for Jose Abreu, who was recently released, and the Astros ate $30 million. So yeah, these guys are it's like their lineup isn't the worst lineup in the league. Like, they're not the worst offensive team like the rankings kind of show you, but it's not great. You know, they have some guys on their bench, haven't really given much contribution as of yet. And then we're gonna get to their starting pitching, and you can see their pitching lineup. It's pretty decent still. Like, a lot of rookies. They only have 4 guys because of injuries. You know, Blanco, Valdez, Hunter Brown, Spencer Arrighetti. I mean, and you can see that Blanco and Valdez are fine. Hunter Brown and Arrighetti haven't really found it yet. So, and they've been rotating guys in and out because of injuries. So yeah, you can see why the starting pitching is kind of decimated. They have basically like 1 or 2 of their normal starters. And then in their bullpen, you have Hader, Presley, Abreu, Montero. Like, these guys Presley has not been good. Taylor Scott has been good. Seth Martinez has been good. And Nick Hernandez has been good. But the other guys haven't really performed like they should. Like, he's been okay, but he's not performing like I think like they expected him to yet, at least. So perhaps he's going to heat up for the playoffs if they make it, hopefully. And of course, absent from their lineup was Kyle Tucker recently because he had a recent shin contusion injury. So he was on the home run leader list like not that long ago. So he might even still be on it. And then you have their injured list, which is basically their whole starting rotation, if you will, like Luis Garcia, Christian Javier, Lance McCullers Jr., Jose Urquidy, and recently added Justin Verlander. I mean, if you look at these guys, most of these guys are recently added, so they've been injured on and off for the whole season. And then in their bullpen, they also have injuries to Kendall Graveman. He's a big part of it. He was injured at the beginning of the year. Penn Murphy, Alvaro Ortega, Ben Sousa. So you can see that the injuries are just wrecking their team. I mean, Kyle Tucker being injured doesn't help their offense, and their whole starting rotation is just annihilated. But the whole point of this video is to see what's wrong with them, and I think that's what half the problem is. But I also think that if you want to dig a little bit deeper, you have to go into 2023 stats, right? Like what did that look like for them? Because overall, their team hasn't changed all that much. I mean, when you look at like the players that they're playing, there's some new starters, but overall, like the in and out players have not been that many. Like their lineup is very much similar to what it was last year. So when you look at their lineup, you can see if you just go by OPS, Maldonado, he's not there anymore. Abreu, he's not there anymore. So those guys, like when you look at the 2024, those positions haven't really changed because they're not there. But because Abreu was even doing worse than he did this in 2023, and Maldonado, I don't know who they have a catcher. Let's see, who was their catcher again? It was, oh yeah, they have Yainer Diaz, and he's been pretty decent actually. So yeah, Maldonado's been replaced with Diaz. Abreu's been replaced with Singleton, who just started playing every day. And then you have Altuve, obviously good, 152. Pena, just below average, and he's been, again, pretty much the same. And you have Alex Bregman, 123 OPS plus, pretty good. Corey Jukes, I don't know if he's still in the lineup. Doesn't look like he is. No, he's not. So it doesn't look like he is. So yeah, he's gone. 105, or not 105, 80, just way below. Jake Myers, below 87, and that's below average. 143 for Kyle Tucker, he's still doing it. And Yordan Alvarez, 171, he's still doing it. So, and then they have these guys down here, Diaz, McCormick, and Dubon. All these guys are in the lineup now, starting every day, and they've been some of them have been struggling and some of them have been good. McCormick and Diaz were good when they were in the lineup, but again, you can see they only had 104, 115, and 132 games played, so they weren't like full-time starters, and they weren't injured necessarily, but so they're giving them a run for the full season is what I'm trying to say. And then you have John Singleton. He got 25 games last year, 74, not enough to really get hot, if you know what I mean, like not enough to get hot. So kind of take it with a grain of salt. And then when you look at their pitching from last year, you could see that if you just look at ERA plus right here, this one, you can see that their best pitcher was Hector Neris. He's not there anymore. He left. But all these guys that they had last year that pitched well are injured or not pitching well. Ryan Presley, 118 ERA plus last year. 1.071 whip, 7.4 hits allowed, 1.1 home runs allowed, 2.2 walks allowed, like 10 strikeouts per 9. Like that's really good. Like he's a really good player. And then you could see at the bottom here, Christian Javier wasn't so good. Rafael Montero wasn't so good, and Jose Urquidy wasn't that good. And Urquidy and Javier are injured, but Brown and Blanco are still in the lineup. And Blanco, to be fair to Blanco, he's pitched pretty good this season in particular, but like it's not been but last year he wasn't doing that good at all. And I guess he had 7 games started, so he got in 17 games, but he wasn't 7 games. So yeah. And then that Brian Blodak is not there anymore. JP France, I don't think he's there either. I don't see him. Is he injured? No, he's not there anymore either. So yeah. So you can see that like they had some great pitching performances, especially from their bullpen and from Verlander, Valdez, and Valdez hasn't been as good this year. I mean, he's been decent. We'll see that in a second. we should go to the 2024 team and see what their stats are looking like currently, a little bit more in depth. And when you look at their stats more in depth, you can see, like, I mean, let's just go by OPS plus, right? You have Kyle Tucker, obviously. He has 19 home runs. You have Yordan Alvarez, 15 home runs, 151 OPS plus. Jose Altuve, 127. The guys you would expect to be up at the top. You have Jake Myers doing pretty decently. Marsubio Dubon. I can't talk today. Alex Bregman, he's just above the line of average, and then Pena, Diaz, and Singleton kind of below average. But you know, we can give Diaz a break here because he's a catcher, and that's fine. Like, still 7 home runs, 33 RBIs. Like, it's not the worst. And Singleton just started playing like recently, so can't really blame them there. And then for their pitching staff, when you look at the highest ERAs, you can see that it's Taylor Scott, he's killing it. Seth Martinez, he's killing it. Ronel Blanco is actually having a great season. He started 13 games. He has a complete game. He has a shutout. That was he had a no-hitter this season. He threw a no-hitter. He has 75 strikeouts, 77 innings pitched. Pretty decent stat line right there. And then 161 ERA plus, 395 FIP, 0.966 WHIP, 5 hits allowed per 9, 1 home run allowed per 9, 3.6 walks per 9. 8 strikeouts per 9. Like, the strikeouts aren't insane, but he's getting outs is what I'm trying to say. And then Hader's just not been good, man. Like, it's not base runners. It looks like he's getting up the home run ball a little bit too much. His strikeouts are still insane, but it's a home run ball, and the defense isn't letting him down, actually. So it's not bad, but the other guys, the defense is letting them down, it seems like. So it could be a defensive thing. I'm not sure, but the problem is down here where they have, JP Prince is on the team. He's just hurt. Okay. I didn't see that. It wasn't on the Fangraphs, but he's just hurt, which is fine. And then, so these guys have not been good at the bottom, and Verlander's hurt. Javier's hurt. Like, Valdez and Javier have been like average. And then Verlander, Presley, Brown, Arrighetti, and France have just been either injured or just not been good. And you see they're allowing too many base runners, a lot of these guys, and too many hits, too many home runs. I mean, it's the problem with young pitchers. Because I know Arrighetti is like, he's not that old. He's only 24, yeah, and this is his first year of MLB. His first year, like he's like a rookie. So yeah, and then I think that's what's wrong with the Astros. I don't think it's the manager, actually, because I know that Dusty Baker does add some kind of value for your team, especially in like you want like a veteran manager to lead the team and stuff, but you need those kind of guys, and I think they have enough veteran leadership on the team to be okay with Tucker, Alvarez, Altuve. Like, those guys can lead pretty easily. So yeah, that's the Astros, and that's gonna wrap it up for this video. So in conclusion, basically, the Astros in 2024, their starting pitching's hurt, and the offense just isn't enough, I guess. Like, because you can overcome some faults in starting pitching with really good hitting, but it's not enough to overcome all the faults, right? If you have enough injuries, it will eventually drag you down to kind of a mid-level. And if they all get healthy, then it's another scary team that's going to make a run to the NLCS or the ALCS rather. And that's it. So thanks for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and the like button if you want to see more content like this. And baseball.